Hello, and welcome to Social Cognition Explained. I'm your host, Joseph Vasquez, and I hope to be your guide through this wonderful and ultimately complicated world that is social cognition. So settle in, because this is going to be a time. So, before we get into the topic on the whole, I want to go over the sources I'm using. So, we're going to be using these two textbooks basically, with other random papers thrown in that I feel are relevant. It's Social Cognition, Understanding Self and Others by Gordon Moskowitz, and Social Cognition, From Brains to Culture by Susan Fisk and Shelley Taylor, third edition. And so that's where most of this information and some of the structure is going to be coming from. Moskowitz's book was the way that I was originally introduced to the topic, so I am kind of going in an order similar to him. So, what is social cognition, anyways? I'll give you some definitions. Social cognition is the study of how people make sense of other people and themselves. It explains the ways in which we think, act, and feel, and make sense of the world in relation to each other. So, there's not one strict definition, I would say, but I feel like these two really kind of capture what we're going to be talking about. And we're deeply social as human beings. And I want to pull from this study an experimental study of apparent behavior, sometimes just called the Hyder and Simmel study. But basically, in this study, the participants got to see a movie, and I've just pulled a little picture here of the movie they had to see. So there was these shapes, and there was the circle, and then they had this little box here. And so they saw like the shapes move, they saw the shapes go in and out of the box, the shapes like fight each other. It's this whole thing. There's lots of videos online to see it. But basically, the point of the study was that most people, essentially everybody, was able to ascribe both personality and motive to the shapes. So they're giving human characteristics to the shapes. The big triangle like attacks the little triangle, and a lot of people are able to understand that, and they start to see these shapes as people. And one of the things that the study brought up, which I liked, was that people always said the shapes move the door. It was never the door was moving the shapes. And so because they had personhood, they were the ones doing the actions and they were acting upon the world. So we're going to understand essentially that we're seeing the world around us through a social filter. And I hope to show you that in the episodes to come. So where are we headed? I'm going to start this season with something I call the why question, which will be the full episode one. But we're also going to go through some of these other topics in order. So naive realism's on the way, automaticity and control's on the way, categorization's on the way, dual process theories, which is a personal favorite, and attribution, which is also a personal favorite. And eventually we're going to be getting onto the heavy topics like stereotyping and implicit bias, stereotype control. So a lot is on the way, and I really feel like it's worth it to go in this more general to then specific order rather than just jumping into stereotyping. I really do feel strongly that we should be covering like all these basics first, and then we can get into those topics. And I'm excited to share it all with you. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to make sure that you're alerted for episode 1. And thank you very much.